I don't know about you, but I'm finding this whole social distancing thing really hard. The other day I was out for a walk with my family, and as we passed another walker, she stepped up and off the path, putting herself a lot more than 2 meters away from us. And then she covered her nose and face with her arm like that. And I felt as if I was being treated like a leper. And then there was the first time that walking towards someone, I realized that they crossed the road just so as not to be on the same side as me. I get it, but it takes a little bit of time not to take it personally. The truth is that some people think that God socially distances himself from them. We know what we're really like. We know the us that others never see. And we know that God knows it all and he sees it all. And so we expect that he will reject us, that he will distance himself from us. And none of us wants to be rejected. Rejection is one of the deepest wounds that we experience in life. I mean, I'm sure that you could tell stories of times when you were rejected or felt rejected, that you still have memories that hurt years after the events because they were to do with rejection. And because rejection hurts so deeply, if you're like most people, you spend a lot of time and money and energy trying not to be rejected. You go out of your way to fit in and to please. You end up saying yes to things because you're afraid of being rejected by others if you say no. And you try as hard as possible to earn acceptance by giving more, doing more, working longer and behaving better. It's exhausting. One of the main culprits in perpetuating this treadmill is religion. Religion has peddled the lie that God is into performance in a big way. That you have to measure up, live up and suck up to God. That you have to pray longer, give more and go to more meetings for God to accept you. And if you don't, he'll reject you. But the good news of Jesus is that God's love is not for sale in this way. The good news of Jesus is that God's love doesn't depend on your performance. Isn't that a relief? I mean, it's so good it needs a moment to sink in. God loves you, he loves you, he loves you, regardless of how well or poorly you've performed. The good news of Jesus is that God is not into the religion business. He doesn't socially distance himself from you if you mess up. How do I know? Well, just look at the life of Jesus. Jesus was God in human form. If you want to know what God is like, look at what Jesus did and what he said. Did you know that Jesus got into trouble for breaking the social distancing rules of his day? He touched lepers. In a male chauvinistic culture, he broke the taboos surrounding how women were treated. In an ultra-racist culture, he crossed the divide again and again to connect with those who were considered to be of the wrong race. In the hyper-religious culture of his day, he spent most of his time with those who were considered to be spiritually overdrawn or bankrupt. He hung out with those that everyone else dismissed as being beyond God's mercy. And this radical acceptance of people got Jesus into trouble. It damaged his reputation and it cost him supporters. But he refused to tone it down. Jesus said, "Whoever comes to me, I will never turn away." And that is what God is like. The good news of Jesus is that God has already accepted you. See, you can't truly accept someone unless you know everything about them, and God knows everything about you, and he accepts you. It's impossible to disappoint him because he already knows it all. You don't have to perform for his love or prove anything to him because he already accepts you. Some of you have lived for many years wondering if anyone could ever accept you, let alone God accept you, because of things that you've done or things that have been done to you. And the answer is a loud yes. You are welcome in his presence. Not just tolerated, you are welcome. His acceptance isn't something that is hesitating, it's unreserved. You are most welcome in his presence. All his cards are on the table. The outcome is guaranteed. You are accepted. And for some of you, hearing this is like water to someone dying of thirst. It's what you've longed to hear all of your life and never experienced. And you can receive that acceptance right now. Jesus said, "Whoever comes to me, I will never turn away." So come to Jesus. And you can do that by praying a simple prayer like this. Jesus, I come to you. I have nothing to give. but I've heard that you'll take me anyway. So take me, all of me, warts and all. I give my life to you. Thank you for accepting me. If this is the first time that you've prayed a prayer giving your life to Jesus, please let us know, because we'd love to welcome you into his family and to buy you a Bible so that you can get to know him better. You can do that by going to www.salisburyvineyard.co.uk/connecting and sending us your details through a really simple online form. Alternatively, you may be intrigued by what I've just said and appreciate the opportunity to ask some questions, maybe lots of questions. And here at Salisbury Vineyard Church, we would count it a privilege to be part of your exploration of the good news of Jesus. So I would like to invite you to join me online for a Zoom discussion with others who probably have similar questions to you, and we'll make time to address them as best that we can. So please do go to that webpage, www.salisburyvineyard.co.uk/connecting, and let us know that this would be something that you would like to be part of. Thank you so much for watching, and may you grow into a deeper experience of God's absolute, unreserved, and wonderful acceptance of you.